Hi, my name is Daniel Massett, CEO and co-founder of Logistify AI. In this video, I'm going to show you how to leverage AI to perform a readiness audit for your QuickBooks Desktop environment to assess whether you are ready to migrate from QuickBooks Desktop to any other system or tool. All right, let's dive right in. This is an exercise where we evaluate the migration readiness for a QuickBooks Desktop environment. Now, that would involve looking at the different data sets or item lists in QuickBooks Desktop and evaluating their readiness based on different criteria. So let's take a look at this table here where we've gathered a couple of documents from our QuickBooks Desktop environment, including inventory assembly items, inventory items, estimates, purchase orders, customers, sales orders, invoices, etc. And we're just going to evaluate this environment and see how ready it is for migration to either enterprise or any other ERP. So there are a couple of columns here in this table that reviews the status. So we have counts and distribution, anomalies, migration, complexity, affected destination, cleanup needed before migration, recommended action, cost impact, follow-up questions, and you can add more columns. So in the audit process, you would sit down with your client. So this is a manufacturer or a wholesale distributor, and then you would look at their results. And one of the results from their analysis is that one assembly references a phased out component. The BOM references phased out SKU called ZZZ. Another result is one row appears incomplete or truncated. BOM string truncated in CSV export and quantity shown as X. So this is an audit review that you would perform. And let's take a look at the recommended action here. So the result here is to rebuild, preserve the valid assembly intent, but rebuild the broken and truncated BOMs. So the migrated item structure is reliable. All right, so this is an exercise you'd go through, but how do we get here in the first place? And that's what I want to show you. All right, so let's go back here to this project that I've just called Walmart, and we have the tabular reviews. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create all right, so let's go to this project that I've called Walmart, and let's create a tabular review. So I'll just go here and create new, and then I'll select these documents here, and then I'll give this review a name right here, and I'll call it evidence. So these are the documents that we extracted from our QuickBooks Desktop environment, and we're going to review the evidence first of all. And so I'll select a workflow here, a predefined workflow. And so let's select this one here, QuickBooks Desktop Readiness Audit Evidence Review. So we're going to review these documents here. So I'll click that, and then I'll say create. And there we go. Our tabular view has been created, and we have the documents that we just uploaded to this review. So we have bills, purchase orders, estimates, invoices, sales orders, customers, etc. And the workflow that we've attached has these columns here. Now, the beauty about this process is that you're going to be leveraging AI to do the evaluation. AI is very capable of running an analysis on multiple documents, no matter the size, in a very short time, very quickly. So let me show you the prompts that the AI is going to use to review our data sets based on this criteria. So the first one is count and distribution. So we need some to understand our data. So the prompt is summarize the scale and the shape. Get the total rows or records, active versus inactive, the top 5 buckets, etc. And then call out anything that signals migration load, very large lists, deep history, and the rest. So this is the prompt that will be run. And so let's look at in anomalies, what is the prompt that will be run? So here the prompt is list data quality and cut over relevant issues such as duplicates, inactive with referenced, missing keys, inconsistent naming, orphan references, units that do not convert cleanly. So this is the prompt. So the beauty about driving this analysis in this tabular review is you can add as many criteria as possible here via add column, and then you can add a prompt. So you might say anomalies in the data. That's the name of the columns. And then you can give it based on your domain expertise as the QuickBooks Pro Advisor or the accountant or the warehouse manager, inventory manager. Based on your domain expertise, you can write a very large prompt here that the AI will use to analyze the data. All right, so let me close this out. So now that we've understood what this tabular review is and the criteria upon which the AI is going to review our data. So what we can do is if we want to run each cell just individually, we can run each cell right here. But the beauty about this audit is that we want to leverage the power of AI to do a comprehensive, deep, detailed review really quickly of every document, because remember, we're going to do this in an iterative process. So what you would do is then click run here. So let me go ahead and click that. So immediately we'll start running each cell here and producing results of the analysis. So as you scroll down here, so you can see every cell here is being run. So you can scroll down and see that each one of these cells is being run, and it takes a little bit of time, but soon we shall start to get some results as the AI runs the analysis and keeps streaming results back to us. All right, so there we go. So the AI has run their analysis and streamed the results back into the cell. So let me go ahead and just pick one of these. So for bills, we can look at the anomalies, can click here in the results. This is what the AI was able to identify based on the prompt that we used. Duplicate bill number pattern, accountant says second copy is ACH fee pass-through typo, vendor master cleanup likely needed, and you can see some deleted or invalid item references in AP code, and it shows you exactly where that is in the citations here. So that's for bills. So let's go to purchase orders. So there are a few anomalies as well in purchase order data. So we have duplicate or conflicting purchase order identity. So purchase order number clashes with archived row in SharePoint export. And so you can see missing line detail, incomplete extract, SKU, BEV keg, missing one trailer line. So you can go on and see based on your workflow and criteria, the quality of the data. And then the AI will make some recommendations and follow-up questions. So let's take a look at a recommended action here. So rebuild vendor item exception. The file shows duplicate, inactive, merge. So this is what the AI recommends. So for purchase order, let's look at rebuild or preserve the valid open PO balances, but rebuild vendor identity. So that's what the AI is recommending in this audit based on the data that we've gathered. And then there are a couple of follow-up questions you can ask your client. So for example, which vendor should survive the entities? So there's distributors, LLC, and the distribution limited. Should the duplicate bill pattern be voided, merged, or retained? So these are the questions that the AI is asking for you to do a follow-up with the client during the audit process. So that's the data, and that's the way of conducting a quick and thorough audit of the data from our QuickBooks Desktop. So now the next step would be to do a risk score. So let's do that. So what we'll do is we'll go back to tabular reviews here, and then we are going to do a risk scorecard. So we'll follow the same process. Now I've already created this. So let's go in. So we have our documents here on the left: bills, purchase orders, estimate, invoices, and the workflow that we have attached to this risk scorecard analysis is this one here, where we'll ask this is the prompt, plain language summary for a CFO. What threatens operational continuity? Inventory valuation, quoting, warehouse execution, integrations, payroll, banking reporting, and why it matters for migration timing. So we'll ask the AI as well to run this prompt to give a score, 1 being low migration risk through 5, which is severe. A score on the migration risk. Then we have severity, any evidence, any mitigation, what is the recommended mitigation, effort, and then which destination would we recommend. So that destination could be QuickBooks Enterprise. So this is the workflow. And yet again, so the flow is going to be similar. We have our tabular data here. The data sets are on the left, and then the analysis criteria columns that we have here. So yet again, I'm going to hit run up here so that we can run this analysis for all the data all at once. And that's the power of using AI. So let me go ahead and click run, and then immediately we shall see every cell here. If you scroll down, each cell is running, and soon we'll start to receive data from the AI as it runs the prompt on each data set. So there we go. For QuickBooks Desktop bills, we already have some results here. Okay, so then let's take a look at one of them in detail. So let me pick one here. So let's look at QuickBooks Desktop purchase orders. Under score, we can see this one here has 5. Let's take a look at it. And the result is 5, meaning it has a high severe score. So this PO extract shows multiple severe data quality and process control issues that would directly affect AP continuity and downstream warehouse procurement execution. So there's duplicate or overlapping POs, stale blanket POs. There's a amount open mismatches, vendor identity duplication. So you can see, and then here under citations, it will show you exactly where those duplicates are. So there's duplicate scanner same day, there's a stale Q1 balance PO, legacy vendor duplicate, and you can have all these cited for you there so you can know exactly where the issues are. So in terms of the score risk, purchase orders has a very severe risk on migration, and so you have to look into that. So let's pick another one here. Let's look at bills. What are the findings here? This bill set shows several AP data quality and coding issues that can affect migration time. There's duplicate or stale vendor records. So, and then you can see exactly where those duplicate vendor records are here, there, and as you scroll down, you can see a lot more. So then this audit then reveals all these data migration issues that you can start to fix. And then the beauty about this is you can fix them and then come back and rerun their analysis and get a better score. So that's how you would leverage AI to perform your QuickBooks Desktop migration readiness audit. Process to audit how ready you are to migrate from QuickBooks Desktop to any other ERP or QuickBooks Enterprise. You can leverage AI to run this process iteratively, where you run the analysis, it gives you a score for the risk, for your readiness. You go back, fix those issues, and then you come back, rerun it multiple times until you get a better score that shows that your environment is ready to be migrated. Thank you.